it's recording. Okay, first thing is first. I have a pop up. No, I don't. Okay. Let me open a window so I don't see myself. You guys requested it, and now it's here. I just got a shower. My hair is like wet, and it's hot in here because I'm recording in the bathroom. But this is like part two of the my paranormal experiences, and right now is like the perfect time for me to record it because I thought I had one. If that makes any sense. It's hot in here. But anyway, um, yeah. So I'm trying to think which one I should tell you next. I told you my first paranormal experience. I can't really remember them in order because, like, after I had that first one, it was like a while before I had another one. I don't know if you would like really call some of these like paranormal experiences like what I'm gonna tell you because I think like the next, like I said, I don't think it's a paranormal experience, but like the next, what is the word I'm looking for? Instinct that I had was in like 94 or maybe 97. Um, my cousin died. And what had happened was before she passed away, and this is like Christy's sister. If you guys know Christy on my channel, she's part of the Sick Chick Show, which is I have another YouTube channel for that as well. But that is her sister that passed away back in like I think it might have been 97 when this happened, or it might have been 94. I can't remember which year it was. Forgive me, Christy, because I know you'll probably watch this. But we were up here in Atlanta seeing them because they lived up here in northern Georgia and we lived in southern Georgia, and it was like spring or something like that. And we were I think we was on spring break. We were told that something had happened to her and that she was being sent to the hospital. So, they were like going to call the family, and so everybody needed to get up there as soon as possible. So me, my mom, and my father had came back to South Georgia to like pack more clothes and stuff like that to come back up. My brother stayed up here in Atlanta. And so we went home, and like I don't remember if it something had happened, like I think what happened was we made it home, and it was like so late. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it's like an hour drive each way, hour down there and an hour back. So it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and like we got home, got our stuff packed, and it was so late that they decided that we would just wait until the morning and then drive back to Atlanta for us all to leave together to go to North Carolina because that's where she was living at. And that's when they had called, like not even an hour or two after we were sleeping. They're like, no, look, it's getting really serious. You guys don't need to stay down there tonight. We're going to all go to North Carolina tonight. Not like tonight, but back then. And so we got up, got all our stuff ready, and we were driving from our house in the south up here to North Georgia. And like something just hit me. Like I've become incredibly upset. I'm like, I think she just died. Like I feel like an incredible sadness. Like it just came over me. That was like my first experience of like knowing when someone has passed away. I don't know if that's paranormal or not. It could be just instinct. I don't know. I wasn't really close to her like I'm close to Christy. But so yeah, I don't know if you want to call that paranormal activity or whatever, but or paranormal experience. But anyhow, that was like my little second thing. And then I didn't really start um, seeing or hearing things or witnessing things happen until like 2003, I think it was. I think it was 2003. We had moved from South Georgia up here because my parents split up. Um, Long story, that's another video in itself. We had moved up to North Georgia up here on the other side of Atlanta, close to Athens, in 2001, I think it was. And, my first experience, well, not my first one, but like another experience didn't occur till like 2003. 2004 maybe. The place that me and my mom had moved into, um, I thought I was seeing things, but I was like, I got a really creative imagination, Well, or whatever. I don't want my computer to go to sleep. So I was like, it's nothing. I'm not seeing anything. So we moved from there because my brother had gotten married and a whole bunch of stuff. And the place we were living, they moved back in with us. It wasn't big enough. So we moved into a house where we all could have our own bedrooms and things like that. And not that we didn't have it before then. But anyways, so we moved into this house. And it was an old house. I would say probably the oldest one that we've lived in, except when my nanny and papa was alive in the early 80s, because their house was really old. And in that house, like, I could tell there was something. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a feeling that you get. Almost as if you're being watched, but you're unsure, You're like, you're studying. I don't know how to explain it. It's crazy because that was like the first time that I had felt that type of feeling. Now, I didn't get that feeling when I had my first paranormal experience. This here was like, there's something here with me, you know? Like, it could be like someone watching you or someone standing over you. Like, I don't know if you've worked at a place and you have a boss that stands behind you and likes to micromanage. Yeah, it kind of feels like that. You feel the vibe. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Well, um, so like there's something in this house. I know there's something in this house. And something, I don't know if we had like a garage sale or a yard sale because we had just moved, we was trying to get rid of some junk. And one of the neighbors came over and she was telling us how the man that used to own that house, because that house just had went on the market and new people had bought it and they fixed it up just a little bit, to make it livable, and but not like remodeled it or renovated it. They didn't do any of that. They just fixed it up where regular wear and tear. Well, the man that used to live there, he had passed away, like I don't know, in probably like the 70s or 80s or something. And he was an older man. I don't remember the specific details. But she told my mom that like his daughter or son or somebody come over there and found him dead in like the kitchen, like toppled over. Like I don't know if he toppled over onto the table or toppled over onto the table and then fell on the floor. But they found him and evidently he had been there for like a week like that. And that was incredibly creepy. Like I stopped unpacking because I knew we wouldn't gonna live there long after I found that out because it's creepy. Like I don't have a problem if people die in a house that we're living in. That was the first time we had ever lived in a place where another person had died. Now, if somebody had been murdered in a place, no, we will not live there. No, it's just the way it is. My brother is incredibly paranoid about stuff like that, and we told him that that man died. He was all freaked out, but see, it goes to another level beyond that. Um, my mother's room, like when you go in the front door of that house, there's a little foyer, and then to the right is my mother's bedroom. Technically, that was not a bedroom. It was like a sitting area, like a not sitting area because those are kind of small, like a living room, like a formal living room. It was a really big size. It was big enough to be a master bedroom, that big. So that was her bedroom. That was me bumping the door. That's what I heard a while ago, but I didn't touch the door. Yeah. So anyway, so she had that room, and then there was a door where you go straight down the hallway. You open that door to go in the hall. There's a little closet right there, and then you go on down, and there was my room. You go on down. There's my brother's room and his wife, and then to the left there was the bathroom, and there's another doorway right there where you can go into the living room den area or whatever. But also in the foyer, if you go to the left, that's where you go into the kitchen at. And when you go into the kitchen, you can take another right and go into that little den area as well. Well, the reason I said all that is because the woman also told my mom that in her room, and see, my mom had done told me, she had done told me, and I didn't. I'm like, Mama, don't say stuff like that because, you're probably exaggerating, da 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 da. Because I have to say that kind of stuff to her to console her, because sometimes your mind will want to run away with ideas, and then you'll get upset or get carried away and things like that. So my way of consoling my mom, which I know is probably crazy, is telling her, it's just her imagination and it's her thoughts trying to get carried away and stuff like that. Da 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 da. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want this video to go uber long. So she had done felt like the feeling she had got like there might have been like a wake in her room. Like, I don't know how to explain it. If you don't know what a wake is, it's kind of like where they'll have a memorial service, or they'll actually bring, in the olden days, or maybe they still do it now, the rich people or whoever. I don't know many people. They hardly ever do it in the South down here, as far as I know. Like, nobody I know has done it. But they'll bring the casket home to their house and set it up in a room for the viewing instead of having it at the funeral home. My mom was like, I feel like that happened in the room where I'm sleeping, Ginger. And I'm like, Mama, no. And she even like showed me where she felt the casket was. So when that lady come over and told us that that man died in the house, the first thing my mom asked, she's like, "Did they have the wake here? Like, do you know if they had a wake here?" And the woman's like, "Yeah, they had the wake. They had it in that front room over there in front of those windows." Exactly the same place that my mom had told me she had a feeling that that had happened. And I believe her, like, straight down, hands down. I mean, y'all know, you watch my mother on here, you don't, my mother doesn't lie. She tells it exactly like it is, even if you don't want to hear it. But anyways, moving on from that. Well, after we had done learned all that kind of stuff, you're already kind of paranoid because you know what happened. So your mind can kind of think that you see things that's not really there. And I had done been seeing things go out of the kitchen, or go down the hall, like walk in front of my bedroom door. But I'm like, you know what? It could really be my mind playing tricks on me. So that's not really anything, because by then I had done already knew the man died in the house and they had to wait there. My mom became incredibly uncomfortable about sleeping in that room. I think there might have been times she slept in the recliner in the den. So I don't know. We had to move from there. We only lived there for a month, and then we moved. I was able to get out of the lease, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get my deposit back, but still, she, yeah, it was just bad. And the reason I know there was things going on there, um, the cabinets in the kitchen would be open. And that's like one of my pet peeves. My brother used to have a horrible habit before he got married. When I would go over to, he was living in like a bachelor pad with a whole bunch of guys. I would go over there and I would clean their house up, you know. And that's a whole other story itself. There's a story about that too. But they would leave the cabinet doors open, and it would drive me crazy. And then when he come over to our house where me and my mom lived, he didn't live there. He would leave the cabinet doors open, and I would go ballistic because it just drives me crazy. If a door's open, it's not supposed to be open because it was made to be closed. Blah blah blah. So the cabinet doors in the kitchen would be open, and like there was one like drawer you pull out, one of those would be open, and it's like not even a drawer that we had the silverware in. It was like where we had the pot holders or whatever. It would be open, and then like two or three cabinet doors would be open, and I would just go ballistic. I would just like fuss at Marty. I'm like, stop it, because it's driving me crazy. And excuse me, he would be like, I didn't do that. Amanda might have done it. Blah blah blah, because that was his wife's name. And so me and her would fuss and argue, and they had went off for the weekend, and it was just me and my mom there. The doors got opened again, and I was like, yeah, I know Mama didn't do it. Yeah, I just know for sure she didn't do it. She wouldn't do that. And it was incredibly freaky. At that point, I believe myself. You don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you what's happened to me. You guys don't have to take it as like Bible. But this is what really happened. I've seen it. I saw it. I witnessed it. I felt it. There's no other exclamations or whatever about that. So long story short, that wasn't the only thing that was happening. I had thought I had seen stuff out of my peripheral vision. The cabinet doors were being opened. I mean, I never seen the door open, but it was open. It's unexplainable. And then the last thing, my bedroom door would open. And I found that incredibly creepy because, if he had the front room, that's where they had the wake at, then that means that was the living room. So which bedroom was it that was his? I don't know. It was hella creepy. And then in the backyard there was a barn, but it was a remodeled, refurnished barn where he would can stuff, like, get mason jars and canned fruit or whatever. I had set up a karaoke thing out there with furniture and all that stuff, like a little hangout place for people to come when they come over. And yeah, I would go out there and the barn door would be open and there was a lock on it. It would be open and stuff would be rearranged, and I just got tired. I thought people were fooling with me, so I brought all my valuable stuff in so I wouldn't worry about people stealing it. And I just quit going out there because, I mean, sometimes I would get like an uneasy feeling, you know, like being watched, because I don't mind when people watch me or look at me, but for no one to be around and I get that feeling, that is kind of, it creeps me out. It doesn't scare me, it creeps me out. But yeah, those are the paranormal experiences that I had in like the early 2000s. I have a whole bunch more. I haven't even got to the good ones. But I want you guys to leave it in the comments below. Have you ever lived in a place like that where it's made you feel incredibly uncomfortable? And if so, what did you do about it? I mean, did it cause you guys to move? Or if you found out someone died, would you move? Or would you live there anyways? Or for that matter, if someone was murdered there, would you continue to live there? Because I would not. If I found out somebody was brutally murdered, no. Mm-mm. I would not live there. I couldn't. Because I can feel stuff like that. Like, it's a long story, and you'll just have to stay tuned into my next video to see exactly what I'm talking about. I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog, and let me know if you want to see more or hear more of my paranormal experiences, and I'll put some more of those videos up. That's pretty much it. Sorry I look so roughed up, but I just got a shower, and sometimes it's hard to get silence here at the house for me to talk about serious stuff like this without Marty busting in my room being like, "What? What are you talking about?" Blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's enough for now. Sorry this video took forever, and I will see you people in the next video. Bye.